and welcome back to my channel. Welcome to a brand new video. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Amelia and I upload all kind of book content such as reading vlogs, reading wrap-ups, you name it. And if you do enjoy that kind of content, then please give this video a thumbs up, please comment down below, please subscribe, and without further ado, let's just get on with the video because I feel like it could be a long one and it's going to be a chatty one anyway. Also, if you can see my hoodie here, I've only put it on my bed to cover up a stain on my bed sheets because I haven't changed my bed covers and I needed to use my bed for this video because I've got so many books here, as you can see. And if you couldn't gather by the title, I am going to be talking you through my all-time favourite books that I've read over the last couple of years. So we've got, I want to say it's more over like 2023 and 2024 with a few books from 2022 in there because a lot of the ones from 2022 I actually have unhauled and haven't got anymore. So we're just going to go through all this one. There's quite a few. I'm going to try and keep it short and sweet because most of them have been in reading vlogs, so you would have seen my thoughts in the past, but we're going to talk about them anyway. So let's just start. I have no clue where to start. I will be honest with you, I have no clue where to start. It feels like a bit of a mishmash. We're going to start here. First one is The Ballad of Never After. This is actually not a real recent read, but it is quite recent compared to some of them on this pile. I read this in July and I gave it 5 stars. I loved it. So I read it in my 24-hour reading, my most recent one that I uploaded, and I absolutely loved this book. It was so good. I didn't want to put it down. 100% 5 stars. Definitely. I just think it was so good. This is the second book in the Once Upon a Broken Heart series. Well, trilogy. Oh my god, eyelash in my eyes. And I just loved it. Moving on, we have Fourth Wing. I've read this book twice now. Around the same time each year, and I love this book so much. It has not been knocked down at 5 stars. Look how much I've tabbed that one, and if you saw the original one, which is on my bookshelf still, that's also tabbed a lot. Not as much as this one is tabbed. This one is tabbed so much. I can't tell you how much I've tabbed this book. I'm obsessed. I am obsessed. I love this book so much. And I cannot wait for the third book to come out in January. I'm a little bit worried. Next, this is not a fantasy book. I'm not going in genre order. I'm just going in order what I can see. Next, we have the Mindfuck series by S.T. Abbey. This is a book that has 5 books in one. I started reading this in November last year. This is actually I actually read it all in November last year. I was hooked. I loved it. It was so good. I can't tell you how much I love this whole book series, and I really need to reread it and annotate this book because I need to be back in this world. I don't actually remember much about it because it just feels like so long ago since I read it, but I absolutely loved it. So oh god, okay, this is all one series, that makes my life a little bit easier. Oh my god, they're all falling. Please don't fall. We have A Court of Mist and Fury, A Court of Wings and Ruin, and A Court of Silver Flames. These 3 books are literally just my favourite. I miss this world so much. I really miss the Akatar world. I really miss Akamuff. Like, I love Akamuff probably the most, but I love all 3 of these books. I miss them all. I actually will be hopefully doing a reread at some point, so early next year you should get a reread video hopefully. Well, if I do it. Fingers crossed I do, because I just love these books and I really miss it so much, and I just want to be back in this world again, like badly. So then we have Daisy Jones and the Six by Taylor Jenkins Reid. This is a book that has stuck with me forever and will always stick with me. I love it so much. Like, I've read it twice. I thoroughly annotated it last year, and when I tell you I love this book so much, it means this book is just everything to me. I want to read it again, like badly, because I just want to be in that world again. Like, I love it. I love everything about this book, the style of the writing, the story, the friendships, the relationships, the heartbreak, everything about this book. Just, I can't tell you how much I love this book so much, so. Then we have, oh please stop falling. Oh god, let's go here. Then we have 2 books from the Chestnut Spring series. We have Heartless and Reckless. These 2 are my favourite ones out of the 5. I think I just love them so much. The Heartless is Willa and Cade's story, and I just ate this one up. My friend from work has recently read it and she loved it. I knew she would. It's so good. I love the story, and I just love everything about Cade and Willa, and I just need them in my life. I need to do a reread at some point. When, I don't know, but at some point. And then we have Reckless, which is, this is Winter and Theo's story, and I thoroughly enjoyed this book so much. It got me out of a reading slump, like, at the beginning of the year. This was the second book I read of 2024, and it was just so good. I read it in, like, the space of 2 days. Like, I was planning to read it for, like, my birthday weekend, and nope. Read it in 2 days. So I love it so much. Then we got 2 books. I'm not even sure if they would still, but if I was to reread them, which one of them I am planning to reread, I just don't think they're going to stay at the 5-star rating as they were when I first read them a year ago, but it's fine. We have The Deal and The Mistake from the Off-Campus series by Elle Kennedy. This one is Hannah and Garrett's story, and I really enjoyed the story so much. I just loved it. I just think it was easy read, and I just loved them, and yeah. And then you have The Mistake, which is John Logan, so Logan and Grace's story. And again, I really enjoyed their story. But I don't know if I was to reread these, I just don't know if I'd still love it as much as I did when I picked them up a year ago. But they were good reads. They were really easy sports romance reads, and I love it. Oh my god, I don't even know where to start. We're going to start here because this is fun. We're going to start with one I'm actually currently reading, but by the time you watch this video, I would have finished it. But like, I have high hopes of this being a 5 stars. Like, I very much know it is. I am like 40% of the way through Yours Truly by Abby Jimenez, and when I say I am obsessed, I mean I am obsessed with this book. I just know it's going to be one of my favourite books I've ever read. Even if it's not 5 stars, it's going to be, I have a feeling it will be. Like, I just don't see it not being. I'm obsessed with everything. It's fake dating. They write letters to each other. Brianna and Jacob are just... It's male mental health heavy, and I love that. Because you don't see it often in books where there's mental health is portrayed and spoken about well, but then with it being in a man. Because you get a lot of female representation but not a lot of male representation, and it's just so good when you get that. I love it. So yeah, I need to put it somewhere it's not going to get lost. There. Then we have another Abby Jimenez book. We have the Happy Ever After playlist. This book, I remember reading it and I was hooked. This book follows so much. There's a massive grief topic in it, and I think because I just felt so connected to Sloane and felt so bad for her, I just wanted to know, and I was just rooting for her so much, and I absolutely loved this book so much. I can't get over Sloane and Jason. Is his name? Yeah, Jason. And the dog, Tucker. I just love this whole story, and I really want to reread it again because it was just so much fun to read. I remember reading it like just before I did Grease, the musical, and it was just, it's just it reminds me of the early starts of this year, and I just loved it so much. Then we have, this is another real recent 5-star read, The Bodyguard by Catherine Center. This is following Hannah and Jack, who Hannah becomes Jack's bodyguard when he moves home to be there for his mum, and oh my god, it's just so good. I didn't even care about their relationship, I just cared about the characters. I was so invested in the characters more than the actual relationship. And that's when I know I really love a book, is when I'm caring about the characters more than the actual relationship that's happening in the book. I just was obsessed with this book, and I honestly can tell you, I loved the writing style, and it was just so good. I loved everything about it. I was hooked. I read this in a real recent video where my favourite booktubers chose my next read, so go check that out if you want to see my thoughts. Then we have The Right Move by Liz Tom Ford, again in the same video as The Bodyguard. I love this book so much. Ryan Shea, chef's kiss, he's like the ultimate book boyfriend. I understand what everyone means by that now, because I just love him and I want him as my boyfriend. He's not real life, he's a fictional character, but I will take that over some of the men in the world right now, so love this book. Archer's Voice, this is a special edition, the annotated special edition by Mia Sheridan. I need to read it again. But I really want to read this one to see her annotations, and like maybe add my own ones into it as well, because I just think it's really cool. I love Just love this. And look at the cover of the hardback without the dust jacket on. Like, look at that. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. And I thoroughly love this book so much. This follows Archer and Bree. And I want to read. I haven't read it for so long, and I just know I thinking about it. I know I'd still give it 5 stars to this day, because it's just it was just such a good book to read. I remember reading it, and I just like remember loving it. It just pulled on my heartstrings, and I just it means a lot to me. It means a lot to me, guys. I'm gonna leave these for last, but I need them over here because in my way you probably can see them by the fact that I'm moving them. Next we have Alison and Lim by Hannah Bonham Young. This book, I was cackling, I was laughing, I was having a great time with this book. I fell in love with everything about this book. I fell in love with Win and Bo. Both of them are just iconic. I love them so much. It's unplanned pregnancy, which I know a lot of people go in and go, why? But the whole book is about it. It's not just thrown at the end. And it's also, I just think it was written so well, and like the way they went through like dealing with this, I just loved it. I just loved everything about it, and I would do anything to reread this again. I want to reread it again because I really want to annotate it so bad. Like, I want to annotate this book and actually read it again because I love it. So it is on my list to read again next year and annotate, but we're not sure when. But I love it so much. Okay, and then we've got books by this queen. Her name is Lauren Asher. I love her books. We're going to start with this one. Love Redesigned. This was another one of my favourite books of this year. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I know not everyone did, and I understand why, but I thoroughly enjoyed this book. I just couldn't stop thinking about Julian. I love it so much. I would 100% read this book again in a heartbeat if I could. I still haven't read the second one, but I just can't tell you. Like, this was when I started adding tabs for when something was like, oh my, OMG, my heart. Like, something that wasn't actually originally a tab key for me, because I was like having these things where my heart was getting ripped out of its chest because of it. So I loved it so much. I just can't tell you. And this follows Julian and Dahlia, and it's the first one in the Dreamland Billionaire series, which, no, it's the first one in the Lakefront Billionaire series. That's the other series. And it is a spin-off from the Dreamland Billionaire series, and you actually see characters from the Dreamland Billionaire series in this book, like very briefly, but I absolutely loved it. I just can't get over how good this book was. And then we have 2 of the books from the Dreamland Billionaire series. We have Terms and Conditions. This is Declan and Ives' sister. This is Marriage of Convenience. She is his personal assistant. He, for his part of to get the inheritance of his granddad's inheritance, he has to marry someone and have a kid. So that's the point of this book. He doesn't want to get married, he didn't really want to have a kid, but that was his only way of getting the inheritance. So, and she knew this, and every person who they like interviewed to become his wife, it wasn't good enough for him, so he would walk them out and say no. And so Iris ended up going, well, I'll do it. I know you well enough, I'll do it. And that's the story. It was so good. I loved it. This is one of my first books of 2023, and I really, really enjoyed this book. And then we have this book, The Final Offer, which is Cal and Alania's story. Now, for me, this book just hits home in a lot of reasons. There's a specifically, Cal is an alcoholic, and it hits home to me. I spoke about this in the video when I read it, and it's just, it was just very moving, and like, I just enjoyed the book. And Cal's job to do in order to the inheritance is technically to sell his he has to spend the summer at his family lake house before selling it. So he basically do it up and spend the time there and then sell it. And when he gets there, his ex-girlfriend Alania is there with a kid, and he's like, well, no, I need to sell this. It's like, you can't stay here. And it goes on from there, and it's just so good. It's like a second chance romance. There's a lot in it, there's a lot to unpack, and it's just, I will tell you this, I absolutely thoroughly enjoyed this book. I loved it. It was so good. I can't remember where I was when reading this, because I was reading it the week I did my Amjam show of Bonnie and Clyde, and I just remember it so much, and I love it. So yes. And then finally we have a series that literally has a chokehold on me and a lot of other people. We've got the Magnolia Parks universe, so I'm going to go through books separately individually. We have Magnolia Parks, the first one. I thoroughly enjoyed this book so much. You can see how much I annotated it. I loved Magnolia and BJ's story. I was so invested. It really felt like Gossip Girl in London, and I loved it. And look at this cover. Like, I'm so glad. I've got the original covers and I've got the new covers, but I prefer the original covers. And I just absolutely love this book so much. I remember buying it because Sarah Caroli was like going on about how amazing this book was, and I was like, oh, okay. And everyone else was talking about it, and I was like, okay. And I bought it, and I was like, okay, I love this book. I need the rest. So I ordered the rest of the series. I remember it. I remember the time when I ordered it all, and I just love this book so much, and I really want to reread it at some point. I'm just scared to go back into this world again, because it is a lot, and there's just so much to it. And so we got Magnolia Parks, then we have Magnolia Parks The Long Way Home. This is the second Magnolia and BJ book, and originally I gave it a 4.75 stars. I started it at the end of 2023 and finished at the beginning of 2024. Originally gave it a 4.75. I upped it to 5 because I was just like, there's no way this is not a 5-star. This is actually one of my favourite books to ever exist. Like, I just love the story. I love it. The ending, I'm not over it, Jessa Hastings. You broke my heart at the end of this ending. I can't tell you how much I was so sad. I was just so sad. I loved it though, so good. And then we have Daisy Hates the Great Undoing. I won't lie, the first Daisy Hate books was not my favourite. I didn't enjoy it. I didn't love it. I found it very hard to read and very hard to get into. I struggled with getting into Daisy's that book. I was like, I can't. But then I picked this book up and I was immediately hooked. Like, I loved everything about this book. I can't tell you how much I loved it. I didn't want to put it down. I got to the ending, the story, what happened at the end. I was like, oh my god, my heart is breaking. I can't tell you. It's just such a good book. I don't know what Jessica puts in it, but it's so good. The only thing I will say I don't like about the Daisy Hates books is the little, like, I don't know what they're called at the bottom, but they used to be called, like, it was when I did my degree at uni, we'd have to do that for our like law coursework, where we would put like our little citation thing at the bottom, and that's what I just don't like that. It annoyed me so much. But other than that, I love the story. I kind of forgot it was there when I got through this book because I just loved it so much. It was so good, so good. And then finally, I think we can all guess the final book that is on this is Magnolia Parks Into the Dark. I can't tell you. This is my all-time favourite book out of all of them. When I say it's my all-time favourite book, there's a special covers coming out in November, and I had originally ordered all three, was like, no. Then I decided just to pre-order the Into the Dark one, because this is my favourite book out of the whole Magnolia Park series. Like, I am obsessed with this book. Like, I just can't tell you how much I love this book so much. The mental health topics that are in this is so powerful. I can't tell you how much. And I just loved, you could see the growth in the characters in this book, and I was so proud to, like, not proud, I was just feeling it, and I loved it so much. So yes, this holds my pride and joy. This is like my favourite book, so yes. But with all that being said, we have now gone through all of my all-time favourite books. So I do hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Please comment down below. Please subscribe. And I will see you again very soon with another video. Bye.